Should women practice hypergamy? Now, I noticed a lot of talk on YouTube about hypergamy, leveling up, and marrying up in class and status. Now, here's my take on it from many years of experience. I think hypergamy can be very beneficial to women. Women should I do believe that women should choose a partner for their life based on other criterias other than just love, attraction, sex, other than just very surface qualities. We find that a lot of women in societies now, they choose a partner based on who they think is attractive and who they have a sexual connection with. And I think that we need to move away from that as women, especially because choosing someone just based on something as superficial as whether you find them attractive or he's funny or he's good in bed. Choosing a partner based on those very surface reasons can result in an unhappy life later on. So, hypergamy, yes, it's something that I do encourage, but I want to say be cautious with it, ladies, as well. You need to think about this completely. You need to be strategic about love and relationships. I would like to see us go back to a time where marriage and choosing a love partner was based on something deeper. And here are my notes. So, um, women should be choosing partners based on someone who is responsible, someone who's reliable, who is financially stable, who is driven, motivated, self motivated. That's very important. Someone who's a self starter, meaning they get up in the morning on their own. Sure, an alarm clock is fine, but someone who's okay getting up in the morning and going to work and happy about climbing that ladder. These are the qualities that we need to look for. Yes, attraction is important because you have to be attracted to the person you're with, but believe it or not, attraction could be more than just surface. We need to move away from dating the pretty boy just because he looks good, because that type of person usually has so many other women attracted to him that he doesn't need to develop a deeper sense of self or his character. So I find that choosing a partner based on surface most likely lead to unhappiness. So back to my point, I would create a list of things that are important. You want to look at someone's values. This is why it's important not to rush into a relationship, but to actually get to know a man. And I'm saying get to know him before you're physical with him in any way at all, before you grow a connection, because as we know, we women are very different than men. We tend to fall in love with a guy a lot faster than they fall in love with us. Um, sure, women do play around too and play the field. But if a woman find a guy that she's highly attracted to, meaning he's physically her type, and he's good in bed, and he makes her laugh and she enjoys his company, these are all quicksand for that woman. She could fall deeply in love with him even if he has no job, no ambition, no future, nothing to offer her. So I would say when dating, you need to step back and really treat it as an interview. You have to get to know this person. But first, before doing any of that, You have to get to know yourself and what you want in life and what you value and what you need out of life, and plan for the future. Don't just think about this person this year, next year, the year after. Think about this person as your life partner, as someone you're going to be bringing children into the world with, as someone you're going to spend time with in your old age. So superficial attraction should not be a part of the equation. Trust me, a man who's not initially attractive in your eyes can become very attractive later on based on his other qualities. So I would say make sure to just figure that out. And ladies, while you're trying to level up, I'm going to tell you something you may not want to hear. Now, while you're trying to find a guy who is responsible, has values, has a self-esteem, is motivated, is kind, generous, all these qualities, you have to work on yourself as well. You cannot be sitting at home surfing the net on Instagram all day unless you're making money with it, right? you know, just wasting time at home, not reading, not exercising, not developing your brain, not caring about your looks, not taking care of your health, not working on your education and your own career as well, and expect to attract a partner who is going to be the desirable man. It's important that you're working on yourself, working on becoming a better person, and also on your backup plan. Because what if you don't find a man who will provide for you? Now what? What if you play the field and you're just out of luck and you don't find that partner? You have to be able to depend on you. And I will say a lot of successful men, this may be contrary to what you've heard, but a lot of successful men these days, they are looking for women who are successful as well. Looking for women who are driven, motivated, who are not just sitting at home on Facebook all day wasting time, unless, as I mentioned before, Facebook is your business. You are on there to sell a service, a product, whatever you're on there for. Sell yourself even. So while you're looking for a guy who you feel is going to level you up, you need to level up as a person. Some women who are superficial and don't work on themselves and are not deemed as intelligent, quote unquote, do find successful men if they're drop dead gorgeous or their personality is just so interesting, etc. It does happen. Remember, there are always outliers in every situation. So you can never say to me, oh yeah, but my friend is shallow and she found a very successful man. It happens. But you don't want to put all your money on that happening for you. You don't want to bet on that happening for you, because it may not. So going back to it, so before you even go on a first date with a man, you need to figure out, you need to get to know yourself, what you want, what you desire, what you want out of a relationship, the type of man you want to be the father of your children. Think and be strategic. Once you figure that out, then when you start dating, you need to interview men accordingly. I'm not saying to have boring dates where the man feels like he's on an interview. You have to be very flirty and strategic about how you introduce certain questions. And I'll do another video on good questions to ask on a date to figure out if the man meets your criterias. But for now, you want to make sure that he's gonna be the type of guy you want. And you almost cannot come straight out with the questions, because men will lie. As we know, people pretend. You have to feel them out, get to know them on different levels and in different scenarios to see if he's actually being honest. You have to test him to see if he's honest about who he is, because remember, we all have a false self, which is the self we wish we could become, or the self we wish we were, but the real self is something different. So it's your job to uncover a man's real self apart from his false self or his facade that he wears around to pretend to be who he's not. So You want to do that and not pretend, but you want to do that to figure out if a man is pretending or he's being his authentic self. So, yes, hypergamy can be something that's very successful for women if women would raise their standard. And I think in the end, it's all about raising standards out there. We see too many girls out there just jumping, bed hopping, being prostitutes who are not getting paid for it. You know how I feel about those women. I feel that if you're gonna be prostituting yourself, you better be collecting a check on the dresser after you're done performing your actions. Ladies, stop competing with hookers. Let the hookers hook. Let them do their thing and charge money. Don't go to the nightclubs and compete with those women. Pick up men the same night and be in bed with the man. Stop that. You need to build self-worth and value and in yourself as a woman, and then you will be able to attract the sort of partner you want as well. Men who are of a certain standard, they're not looking for a bed hopping hoe. They're looking for a woman with value who they could take home to mother, who does not have a lot of miles on them. I hate to tell you this, but that is so true. A man has to believe that you're almost a virgin, a virgin of sorts. They want to believe that you're pure, you're untouched, and that you're only theirs. They don't want to put on a pedestal the type of woman who dragged them home that night and slept with them. They'll entertain you, but just for that purpose. So remember that when you're trying to level up in life, the first assignment you have where that's concerned is to level yourself up. Level you up. Figure out what you want from your life, how you gonna get it with or without a man, and you do that for you. You help to build you. And then when you're going to become that solid person with self-worth and self-love and determination and motivation. You are putting yourself in a better circle where you can meet the type of man that you desire, whether that man be a business owner, CEO, lawyer, whatever. You're going to put yourself in a better position to meet that man. So hypergamy, back to that, yes, it's very important, but we can't just have that as our only plan in life. We have to work on the important part, as I keep saying. Work on you, becoming a better you, and then leveling up will be easier for you to do. Okay, well, that's it for now. I'll make a follow-up to this video where I will talk about questions you can ask on a date, and I'll go into deeper details about how letting your emotions control you at all times, how that will destroy your life, because it will, and how bed hopping will destroy your life and destroy your chances of finding a good man. And yeah, I'll talk about those things later. Bye, ladies.